Hello, it's July 3rd, 2024, and this is an update to Mike's layout in Western Chicago suburbs. I was here the last few days, and if you saw the update the last time, I had laid about 80% of the road bed and a little bit of track for one of the main lines so we could do a little bit of running back and forth. This trip completed the road bed, and the mainline track is laid with a few of the sidings in place. It's essentially a two-track loop that curls upon itself. So kind of the lower part of the loop is a four-track staging yard, and then the upper part of the loop is just a return for a small yard that represents a little bit of the town of Aurora, Illinois. The layout runs with NCE DCC, and right now there's a DCC specialty circuit breaker temporarily in place. This is not the final location for the DCC system, but instead just a spot so I can test and watch what's happening. All of the tortoise the tortoise throws for the turnouts, the switch machines, are in place. They have not been wired yet. They'll utilize a circuit that will talk to the DCC system, which will allow the layout to be run, or I should say the turnouts to be operated from the throttle or a panel that we'll create for each kind of section of the layout. Or of course we can put a local push button on the fascia if we need to do that also. The next phases are going to be continuing with the remainder of the track work that isn't in place. And during this trip we did start placing some of his structures where he's envisioning them occurring. A lot of the buildings on the layout are representative of things that Mike was involved in his life. There'll be a lot of homage to his career in the fire department, working with meat processing and packing plants, among several other things. The layout is a replacement for one that he had built by a local builder who passed a few years ago. I shouldn't say that, he passed recently, but it was an in-process layout that had been worked on for about 3 years, and Mike never really saw a train run around it reliably. So this is to replace that. The other layout had too small of curves. He likes passenger equipment and longer cars, and so having the curves broader so all of the passenger cars work and can pass each other and so on was a big bonus. He wanted the layout simplified in that the other one was a series of a bunch of interconnecting loops that you could run 4 trains at a time, or if you knew how to throw the turnouts, you could run it around one big long loop. The problem is none of the turnouts were ever fully wired, and so he was never able to take full advantage of his other layout. I came in about 8 months ago and looked at the previous layout and basically said, we're really going to have to kind of start from scratch. Curves were way too tight. There was abrupt changes of gradient. In other words, it would come up the grade and then suddenly go flat. Cars were derailing. Even 4-axle units, Jeep 40s, Jeep 38s, couldn't make it all the way around the layout without derailing. So this is really a much better option for him. So for the moment, I think that's a pretty good start for the update. You got to see trains run a little bit. Again, the layout is essentially just a double track. It's 2 independent loops, and they just weave up and down over themselves. There'll be mostly Midwest feeling scenery. Actually, a lot of it sort of based upon, again, sort of suburbs of Chicago. And there'll be one section over here that's going to have a lake in it because a lake in a cabin is important. And so that's kind of what this section is reserved for, a little more open running. But we'll look forward to continued progress with this, and we will see everybody at the next update. Take care.